Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abnoa Mitidani Wong.
My name is Maizatul Dayana binti Mio Mutazin.
My name is Nurul Mirza Farzana binti Muhammad Rasti.
Today I'm going to present about potassium, which is an important mineral for our body. First, let's look at the category of potassium. Potassium is classified as a mineral in our body. This means it is one of the essential nutrients that our body needs to function properly on a daily basis. Even though we only need it in small amounts, it plays a very big role in maintaining our health. Next, potassium carries an electric charge when dissolved in body fluids. Because of this property, potassium is known as an electrolyte. Electrolytes are very important because they help send electrical signal throughout the body, especially in the nerve and muscle. In addition, potassium is also considered as a micromineral, but at the same time it acts as a major electrolyte in human body. This means even though it is needed in controlled amounts, its function is very significant for body balance. Lastly, potassium functioning as a major electrolyte that helps regulate fluid balance and muscle functioning. This is important because it helps maintaining the right amount of fluids in our cell and ensure that our muscle can contract and relax properly. Without enough potassium, we may experience muscle weakness or cramp. Next, let's move on the definition of potassium. Potassium is a metallic element that is important in many body functions such as regulation of blood pressure, water content in cells, transmission of nerve impulse, digestion, muscle contraction, and heartbeat. This shows that potassium is not just a simple nutrient, but it is involved in many important systems in our body, especially in the nervous system and the muscular system. Now, let's move to the background of potassium. Firstly, potassium plays a role in supporting normal heartbeat and transporting nutrients into cell wall, removing waste product out of cell. This is important because it helps maintaining a stable heart rhythm and ensure that cells function properly by getting the nutrients they need and removing waste efficiently. Next, the harmful effect of sodium on blood pressure can be reduced by potassium. In our daily diet, many people consume too much sodium, especially from processed food. Potassium helps balance this by reducing sodium level, which helps control blood pressure. Lastly, potassium is an essential mineral and electrolyte that can be found in many foods, especially fruit and vegetables like banana, spinach, and potatoes. This means we can easily get potassium from a healthy diet and balanced diet. Next, let's look at the health and benefit of potassium. First, potassium helps in maintaining fluid and electrolyte balance in our body. This is important because our body needs the right balance of fluids to function properly. If this balance is disturbed, it can affect our overall health. Secondly, potassium may reduce blood pressure by helping our body remove excess sodium. This is beneficial because high sodium levels are linked to high blood pressure, so potassium helps to keep it under control. Next, potassium regulates blood pressure and may reduce the risk of hypertension. Hypertension or high blood pressure is a serious health condition, so potassium plays a role in preventing it. Next, potassium regulates blood pressure and may reduce the risk of hypertension. Hypertension or blood pressure is a serious health condition, so potassium plays a role in preventing it. In addition, a high potassium can reduce water retention by increased urine production and lowering sodium level. This helps the body get rid of excess water, which can prevent bloating and swelling.
Next, we will see about the sources of potassium and also potassium deficiency, which is known as hypokalemia. Firstly, let's look at the sources of potassium. Potassium can be easily obtained from our daily diet, especially from whole and minimally processed food. This means that if a person practices a balanced diet, their potassium needs can usually be met. Firstly, fruits. Examples include bananas, oranges, avocado, papaya, and melon. Banana are one of the most common sources because they are easily to get and convenient to eat. In addition, fruit also provide vitamin and fiber that support overall health. Apart from fruits, vegetables are also a major source of potassium, such as spinach, broccoli, potatoes, sweet potato, and tomato. For example, potato eaten with the skin contain higher amount of potassium, and green leafy vegetables are also very nutritious. In addition, potassium can also be found in protein sources such as fish like salmon and tuna, chicken, as well as beans and lentils. These foods are important not only for protein but also for maintaining proper muscle function. Besides that, dairy products like milk and yogurt also contribute to potassium intake, even though they are more commonly known for calcium. Lastly, other sources include nuts, seeds, and whole grain, which are often consumed as healthy snacks and also help increase daily potassium intake. Moving on, let's look at potassium deficiency, also known as hypokalemia. Hypokalemia occurs when the level of potassium in the blood becomes lower than normal. This condition can affect important body function, especially muscle and nerve function. There are several causes of hypokalemia. For example, excessive sweating, especially among athletes, can lead to loss of potassium. In addition, loss of body fluid due to dehydration or vomiting can also reduce potassium level. Apart from that, poor diet, especially low intake of fruits and vegetables, is another common cause. Use of diuretic may also increase potassium loss through urine. In terms of symptoms, individuals with low potassium may experience muscle weakness or cramp. They may also feel tired easily, even during simple activity. Other symptoms like irregular heartbeat, constipation, and tingling or numbness. In more serious cases, hypokalemia can lead to dangerous heart complications if not treated properly. For athletes, potassium deficiency can affect performance significantly. They may experience reduced muscle strength and faster fatigue during training or competition. The risk of muscle cramp also increases, and recovery after exercise becomes slower. In conclusion, potassium is an essential mineral that can be obtained from a variety of foods such as fruits, vegetables, protein sources, and dairy products. However, potassium deficiency or hypokalemia can negatively affect both health and physical performance. Therefore, it is important to maintain a balanced diet to ensure adequate potassium level in the body. That's all for me. I will pass to the next presenter.
First, let's look at the sign and symptom of excess potassium. When potassium level become too high, the body may experience muscle weakness and fatigue, which means the person feels tired easily. Other symptoms include nausea and a tingling or numb sensation, especially in the hands and feet. In more serious situations, excess potassium can affect the heart rhythm, causing irregular heartbeat, also known as arrhythmia. If it becomes severe, it can lead to cardiac arrest, which is very dangerous. Next, we move on to potassium toxicity. Potassium toxicity is actually rare if we only consume potassium from normal foods. However, the risk increases in certain conditions, especially for people with kidney disease, because their body cannot remove excess potassium effectively. In addition, people who take high amounts of potassium supplements are also at higher risk. So, it is important to control potassium intake, especially for individuals in this high-risk group. Okay, next we look at the recommended nutrition intake for RNR for potassium in Malaysia. The required amount depends on age. Young children need between 3,000 to 4,500 mg per day. Adolescent and adult require about 4,700 mg per day. Pregnant women also need the same amount, while lactating women require slightly more, which is 5,100 mg per day. These recommended values are important to maintain good health and proper body function. Next, we look at why potassium intake is important. Potassium plays a key role in maintaining fluid balance in the body. It also supports nerve function, which is help the body send signal properly. In addition, potassium helps in muscle contraction, which is important for movement. It also helps regulate blood pressure and ensure the heart functions normally. So overall, potassium is essential for many important body processes. Lastly, potassium is especially important for physically active individuals. It is because potassium is lost through sweat during exercise or sport activities. If potassium levels are become too low, it can cause muscle cramp, fatigue, and weakness. It can also reduce physical performance. Therefore, active individuals should ensure they consume enough potassium to maintain energy and performance.
That's all from us. Thank you.